The sort of bullpen you guys have in this month specifically, how can that change games, and how do you think this unit can hold up in intense postseason games?
I think the main thing it does for us is just kind of shortens the game. And one thing we've relied on all year long is our starting pitching. We obviously feel good about our starters, and we know that they can go really deep into games. But with the quality, the amount of quality arms that we have in our bullpen, it just allows, if things don't go well early on, that Tom's has the ability to really shorten the game and go to those guys early if need be. And obviously, we saw what they did last year in the postseason. They carried us through that run we went on, and a lot of the guys are back, and we've added to that as well, of guys that have just contributed all season long. So everybody knows without a really good bullpen, it's hard to win in the postseason, and we feel like that's definitely one of the strengths of our team.
Go to Todd over here on the left.
GT, what do you think the challenges are going to be with the pitch timer in the postseason compared to the regular season? Have you guys talked about that at all, slowing the game down any way you can? Is that going to be more of a challenge now?
I don't necessarily think it's going to be more of a challenge, but we are going to have to be a little more cognizant of taking the time and maybe using our extra mound visits or finding ways to slow the game down for our pitchers. Maybe, I don't know if it's throwing a couple extra balls out or me giving a couple extra signs. Just there'll be certain moments in the game where obviously things are a little more tense, and it'll feel even faster than it does in the regular season. So we'll have to just be aware of that and make some adjustments and just try to slow the game down the best we can.
And then Nola's been pretty good in his last two, and it seems like a lot of people are encouraged. What do you think the biggest factor is in terms of his success these last two that leads you to believe he might continue that success in the postseason?
I know that Caleb and him made some adjustments mechanically before his start 2 outings ago, and from those adjustments, he just seemed more crisp. His stuff was a little more sharp. He was also able to locate better. So I think that's encouraging. That Nola, obviously, he's had a lot of success for us, and he's been a guy that's been really good for us. And the Phillies are best when Nola's at his best. So he's going to be big for us this postseason, and his last couple of starts for us were definitely encouraging.
We'll go to Tim over here on your right.
Hey, JT, between the workload you had last year in the playoffs and the World Baseball Classic, how did you feel physically this season, and how do you feel entering the postseason?
My body's felt great all year. This has probably been about the healthiest I've been in any season. Just as far as there's always some small bumps and bruises you go through as a catcher, but I didn't have any shoulder issues, no hip issues, which I've dealt with in the past some seasons. Even when I've been able to play through it, it's just been stuff that's kind of hindered me, and I felt and had to play through. But this year, my body's felt really good.
And then obviously you spent a few years with the Marlins at the beginning of your career. What's it kind of like to see them in the postseason a few years later?
It's interesting, honestly. It's pretty cool for me. To be honest, there's not a ton of guys that I played with over there. Most of the guys that I played with and the coaching staff that I worked with, they're almost all gone now. So it's not obviously the team that I was with and the people that I'm familiar with, but there's still a few friendly faces over there that I got to know really well, and a couple friends I still have on the team. So it should be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun.
Go to Alex up front on the left.
Hey, JT. With Gregory Soto, I was curious, if you've seen his stuff tick up recently, if you think that he's kind of trending in the right direction. It seems like his command has improved over his last few outings, so I just wanted to see what you've seen out of him.
Absolutely. I mean, his last, month and a half has been really encouraging for us. I think, like you mentioned, first and foremost, his command has ticked up. Mm-hmm. He's been pretty consistent every single start. Even the couple starts he's given up runs, it's been some bloop hits, a couple weak singles. It's not like he's going out there walking guys and then they're giving up runs that way. So just to see him, his stuff is so good that if he's in the strike zone, he's going to be effective. I think his slider has gotten better as the seasons went on. His last few outings, it's really been the best I've seen it. He's able to throw it for a strike when he wants to, and then also being able to throw it under the zone for chase when he needs to. And when a left-hander can throw 98, 99-mile-an-hour sinkers and then have a slider to go with it like that, it's really hard on an opposing lineup. And like I've said about guys earlier, he's going to be really important for us this postseason.
And what have you seen out of Sir Anthony recently after his last few games?
Kind of the similar story. Just really command has gotten better, and his slider has been sharper and more consistent. It's really the same story with most of our bullpen guys. They all throw so hard, and they all have really good fastballs that when they have that secondary pitch and they're able to throw it for strikes early in the count and then being able to command it late and throw it for chase, they're all really tough to hit. And I think Sir Anthony's done a good job of finding his slider. It's been closer to the shape and the speed that it was last year this time of year, and that's another encouraging sign for us to see.
We'll go all the way to the back left.
JT, going through the run you went through last year, what did you learn from last year that can help you this year, whether it be approach or anything like that?
I think a lot of it is just confidence. Just from us going on that run last year, we feel like, we've just gained confidence and we gained experience from that. Postseason baseball is so much fun. It's so exciting. But at the end of the day, it's the same game once you step between the lines. If we have the talent in our clubhouse, we know that, we believe that. So once you step on the field and you just feel that confidence and you can look at the guy next to you and in front of you and behind you and just feel their confidence and know that they can get it done with you, I think that takes you a long way in the postseason, and that's something that we were able to build on from last year.
We'll stay there in the back.
Yeah, JT, you talk about being here last year and the confidence you have, but there also seems to be more expectations around this Phillies team this year, playing in the same series as you did last year. How do you guys manage those expectations that come with being more established?
Yeah, I think that's honestly part of playing in Philadelphia. We've had, even the last few years when we didn't make the postseason, we had a ton of expectation going in. So I think this group is used to playing with expectations, and that's what comes with the territory when you play here in Philly. And that run we went on last year is absolutely going to bring a little more expectation, so that's a little more pressure we're going to have to play with. But I definitely think that this group, like I mentioned, the confidence that we have, I think it won't be a problem playing with a little extra pressure.
We'll go back to Matt over here on the left.
They're obviously going to start 2 lefties, and they also have, I think, 4 pretty decent lefties in their bullpen. You guys saw this year. What kind of onus is on the right-handed bats in the lineup? You, Nick, Trey, Alec, to name a few, to really pick it up against maybe you might get some more favorable matchups later if they use those lefties.
Yeah, it's definitely it's going to be big for our right-handed bats to get the job done. We have the good thing about our lineup is our left-handed hitters hit lefties pretty well, so they're still obviously going to contribute. It's not like we're going to get zeros out of Harper and Schwarber and Stott and those guys. They still put really good at bats on lefties, but it's going to give us as right-handed hitters better opportunities with maybe some more favorable matchups. And I say that in saying their lefties are really good over there. Even if they're left-handed, it doesn't mean that our righties are going to be better this series, because they just have good pitching over there, and that's the reason they're here. Their bullpen's really good and really deep, and they're able to throw out lefties that usually have pretty good success against right-handed hitting. So, but I do like the fact that they have a lot of lefties over there, because I think it makes our lineup a little better.